or anything?
I'm just going to roll with it. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Driver's Seat. My name is Nico. This is your weekly Vantage Recap podcast / show. With me today is Chief Dankaroo, the 2024 Driver of the Year.
Yo. What's up?
How you doing, Chief?
Doing all right. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Absolutely insane first couple of 6 races so far in Vantage, and they've all been pretty insane.
Really close finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. We had trucks, we had Daytona for VPS, just all kinds of stuff. 2 VPS races, 2 trucks races. We had the season opener at Daytona for Friday Night Fenders, the return of Friday Night Fenders. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then we also had the opening round of the Retro GP series, also in Forza. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's look at, Chief, I shared with you the standings for both the Truck Series and VPS. We'll take a look at the Truck Series. We'll do a little rundown of that so far. So as expected, it is the Daniel Michel show. He's got 4 wins out of 6 races. Do we think anyone can stop Daniel Michel?
I really don't think so. Well, there is a playoff format, right?
There is, which is interesting, especially considering the fact that Michelle and Kyle Purcell, without spoiling too much, probably won't be able to partake in the final few races of this season due to, let's just call it scheduling conflicts. I don't want to announce anything that hasn't been announced just yet.
Well, it does get interesting with the playoff format, obviously. Like, you can bring up real life where Chase Elliott won the championship when Kevin Harvick had 9 wins in the season. Anything like that. Like, even last Pro Series season, Daniel Michael, he dominated the whole season. And then Kyle Purcell, he got hot at the right time. Unfortunately, didn't get the championship, but he did get hot in the playoffs. So it's all about getting hot at the right time. And it's anybody's game with that format.
Yeah, you just have to be, like you said, hot at the right time, consistent at the end. Of course, you have to make the playoffs, but once you're there, it's all about surviving and just getting hot, getting to that final 4, and then, go into the end and trying to pull off maybe an upset victory, maybe not an upset victory. I guess we'll have to see who gets there in the end. But yeah, right now it's Daniel Michel up top, Todd Lee in second, and then William Hightower, who we'll get to in a bit with his glorious Daytona victory. But William Hightower's actually been on the upswing lately, not just in the Truck Series, but in the Pro Series as well.
Yeah, it's been great to see. That finish at Daytona was just amazing. Even got to give a shout out to Kurt Bray. He's been on the rise too, but just overall good to see. I was rooting for him a lot last season, especially since he's on controller. It's just cool to see him fighting for wins now and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, Hightower and both, like you said, Hightower and Kurt Bray are also some drivers that, that are on the come up. Last season in the Pro Series and the first half really of the Truck Series has just been all Daniel Michel. When it wasn't Daniel Michel, it was Kyle Purcell, and then there was always those two going back and forth. But we've seen some other guys get some wins and challenge for top finishes and stuff like that. Hightower's always been super consistent, so him getting up at the front and staying at the front is it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing to see. And
well, we're talking about
Go
Truck
ahead.
Series, right?
Truck Series and Pro Series on the screen right now. If you're watching at home, if you're listening, we're looking at the end of the Pro Series Daytona race. But that was all really crazy, especially the controversy with Parker Vance racing the leaders 4 laps down.
Yeah, that's just Parker. That's how he is. That's who he is. But speaking of controversial, Kurt Bray at Talladega. What do you think about that?
That was pretty crazy. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching the end of that race, or really the whole race. The whole race was actually pretty good. It was relatively clean until the end. But yeah, it's on our socials. It's also on the Twitch, of course. And Parker, not Parker. Well, Parker Vance was involved actually. Kurt Bray kind of got into the side of him. It was very controversial. We had to wait like 20 minutes, I think, for the race officials to come to an agreement as to what happened there and who got to keep the win and what exactly went down.
He honestly shot himself in the foot. You know, the win it didn't count towards his playoff eligibility. It's it's super unfortunate. I just wish he could have saw that Parker was below the yellow line when he passed instead of making a foolish move like that, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say. I mean, I think most people would have done the same thing. It's you go for a move to the bottom, car in front kind of blocks, but I don't know. You're coming to the the line. Maybe just keep the foot in the gas and see what happens.
That's true. Parker, where did Parker finish and all of that?
He ended up being relegated to sixth position after penalties and stuff. Penalties being an illegal entry to pit road is what it was deemed. So pushed down to sixth. Daniel Michel moved to second.
That's not a terrible finish after what happened to him, but he's just been going through a lot lately on the racetrack.
Yeah,
Getting wrecked by his own team owner. I think it was at Nashville. It just, I don't know. And some other stuff too. I forgot what it was, but tough
um,
times.
yeah. Parker, he has a lot of pace, and he just seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time a lot of the time. So that's Parker Vance. That's the Truck Series. We'll take a look at the Pro Series though, with that super close finish at Daytona to open out the season. And then of course round two at Auto Club, which was just a spectacular race. If you didn't watch it, I also recommend you watch that because that was great racing.
I think it's the best Pro Series race to date, honestly. This wasn't a dull moment at all.
Yeah, it was 2, 3, 4 wide racing for basically the entire race. Not a terrible amount of cautions. Wasn't a crash fest. These guys were really just going at it, and it was great to see, especially you know, with things like IRP, how that was kind of a caution fest. But you go to California, and it's a great race, and it always is. And it's a shame that they tore it down in real life.
Yeah. I live about 20 minutes from it, so it's great just seeing a bunch of warehouses going up, you know. Love that. Um, but I couldn't believe my eyes when I was watching the race. Just
Yeah, they're
crazy through.
making the high line work. Some drivers were all the way to the bottom of the track. Some were all the way, literally an inch off the wall. That track's awesome. Those cars on that track, that combo has got to be probably, I would say, the best we've had so far in terms of racing advantage. Michigan was also pretty good though for trucks. Michigan and trucks was good. It was pretty much
Michigan
similar.
just keeps putting on shows.
Michigan's just what?
Insane. It just keeps putting on shows every time we go there.
Yeah, it does. Michigan's great. I mean, it's very, very similar to Auto Club in terms of layout. Of course, they're always different, but it is very similar. But yeah, that was some great racing. So I'm going to take a look at the point standings actually for the Pro Series. We got William Hightower, who won by 3/1000ths of a second, which is actually interesting. It was the then closest finish in Vantage history, and that was on the 3rd. No, that was on the 2nd of January. So that was the closest finish in Vantage history for all of, was it 10 days? Until Retro GP came and beat it by 1,000th on Sunday.
This week we're going down another 1,000th. Sure.
Are you gonna? Are you calling your shot now that we're gonna get even closer?
I just feel it. I'll say this. I'll say mine and Steve-O's finish was closer, but
That's
GTA.
That's a super old throwback. It's actually on the YouTube channel. It's one of the Vantage Vault races, which, by the way, we're bringing back the Vantage Vault. That's another thing to look forward to. This is open up the vault. This is coming up tomorrow on Wednesday, so the Vantage Vault will be returning. Was it third Thursday of every month? We're gonna be doing a throwback race for you newer heads to take a look at some Vantage history. Should be fun. I won't spoil anything as to what we're uploading, but yeah, just be sure to keep an eye out for that. So yeah, anyways, looking at the point standings for the championship of the Vantage Pro Series, we got Daniel Michel at 74 points. He's locked in atop the leaderboard with his win at Auto Club. Second place, William Hightower at 73 points, a single point separating the top two, which is, could be.
Where did he finish at Auto Club?
Is that, let's see, that's 4th, I think. William Hightower 4th at Auto Club. And Daniel Michel was 3rd at Daytona. So
Oh,
they,
was he? Okay.
yeah, so that's that 1 point difference. And then Purcell is third, which is no surprise. He finished second at Auto Club and was that fourth at Daytona. So the top three are all right there. Those guys, of course, are always really, really close to each other on the track. Michelle and Purcell, if you watch Pro Series and Truck Series, you'll know that those two.
Michelle and Purcell.
Yeah, Michelle and Purcell.
Bar.
Daniel Michelle. I do also, if you're listening, Daniel, want to apologize for saying your name wrong the entirety of
Daniel Michael
2024.
to you, buddy.
Yeah, that's Daniel Michael. He's cool with it. He didn't correct all the times I interviewed him after a race. He never corrected me or anything. So I guess I just look like an idiot the whole time, which is cool. I
Shout
guess.
out Kyle Orveski, man.
Not even close. We got to bring back Kyle Orvetsky to
Orvix?
I think so.
Orvix.
Orvez.
Dude, shout out the English language.
Shout out. Super easy. No problems at all. So yeah, let's take a look now, moving forward to Friday Night Fenders. It had been 1,127 days since the last branded Friday Night Fenders race. And we do have a little special guest, actually. We have Daytona winner by half a car length. AmiClean is with us here in the booth.
Hello.
AmiClean, welcome to the driver's seat. You won the first Friday Night Fenders race on Forza, the first one in almost over 3 years. How was that race for you?
It was long, 100 laps for sure. It was good. I'm not on a team, still a free agent at the moment. I think I may or may not be signing with somebody soon. Haven't decided yet. But overall, I mean, it was a good performance. I mean, you look at the help I had for like what? How many laps was it? I had Clutch with me, pushing me all the way through. And then some late race drama that brought the field together, and then, the crazy finish. But I mean, overall, it was a really good performance.
Yeah, I think you were one of the only drivers in the whole field who wasn't involved in any crazy incidents. You were basically just hugging the bottom the entire race and just kind of being really patient with it. And it worked out. You won the race and you were in the front literally like almost the entire race.
Yeah, it was very good. First portion of the race, I was with it was Loud and Chief, and then me, and then T. Smitty was up there, and there was somebody else. I've forgot who the fifth driver was. But we had a pack going, and then the first set of cautions came about a little after our first pit stop, our first round. And then we got to the halfway mark. I mean, there was a couple points where I wasn't like in the front, I was in the back. But me and I think it was Mike Tyson actually, we both worked together and we made a really good set of passes. Or no, sorry, it wasn't Mike Tyson. It was Country Pepper. Me and Country Pepper made some good ground after one of the restarts, and we caught up to Mike Tyson, and I think it was T. Smitty. And then I took the lead from there, and then from there it was kind of just set out like a couple cautions, and then from there it was just me and Clutch pushing all the way through, and then late race drama brought everybody together.
Yeah, it was a heck of a finish. That run to the line, was your goal just to stick to the bottom of the track and then whatever happens happens?
I To be fair, I was gonna go up and run him up the track, but I didn't want to cause any trouble there. And it was by the time he really did make his move, I think it was too late. So I never really had a plan for this. I was just trying to run my race. It was my first like proper race with Vantage in a while since I've been busy with work and everything. So I was just trying to kind of feel how everything was gonna be. And it was my first proper race in Forza 2 on wheel, so it was a little getting used to before in pre-race practice. I was trying to figure out my settings to make sure I at least could, handle it. And I mean, it went well, so I never had an issue with it. I mean, like I said, I never really had a plan with it. And then just come to the line, I mean, I was just hoping like, held that nothing bad was gonna happen. But we ended up going 4 wide in the turn 3, and I don't even know how I survived. That was probably the most insane finish I think I've had in a while.
Yeah, for sure. It was a crazy run to the line. It was pretty entertaining race all throughout. Super Speedway racing was always great. It was our first NASCAR league race held on Forza. It was your first ever league race on Forza, period. Like you said, you weren't even really thinking about racing. You texted me maybe an hour before the race, hour and a half, and you were like, "Hey, what if we commentated?" And I was like, "Well, I've already got a co-commentator. You should race." And I mean,
Yeah,
it worked out for you.
yeah, definitely not a bad decision. Um, but like I said, just overall it was an insane race. It was a lot of fun actually. I had a ton of fun and a lot of good paint schemes out there too, I noticed. Shout out to Bird on Chief's car.
Yo, Ripbird. I'll
Oh
tell
yeah,
you
RIP.
what, those first 40 laps were some of the cleanest racing that we've seen, like ever.
Definitely was.
And then I ended up being an idiot and spinning on the apron. So that was really cool. Uh, just really good racing. A couple um incidents and stuff, like some guy in the number 8. But I don't know. It was really good racing. It was really good to see out there. It's nice to see Ethan out there too. It's always fun battling him. Um, Clutch though, Clutch is a real MVP. He's a really good pusher.
He
Tell you
really
that.
is. And that's definitely my biggest shout out. And I would say if you had to pick an MVP of the race or best driver of the race, I think it was Clutch. He was nowhere really near the front for the first half of the race, and then he was there with me for the, remainder like quarter. And then, like I said, that late race drama brought everybody around, and then Hertz eventually got past us, and then he kind of spoiled the party a bit. But me and Clutch made, I was surprised. So, because they were talking in the VC, Hertz was trying to get Clutch to work with him, and I thought he was actually going to work with Hertz, but it was either the second to last or final restart. I think it was the final restart. I ended up getting a run because for whatever reason, if you started first on the restarts, unless you had somebody behind you who you know is gonna work with you, like I did one restart when I was in first and Clutch was behind me, you were gonna get jumped because you get a good launch, but then that draft would pull second and third and everybody else behind back up, and you could just take a momentum and run around them. And that's what I did, and Clutch went with me, which worked, and then I got up there, and then like I said, everything kind of unfolded from there. So, like I said, no really good plan going into the race. Towards that last set of laps, I don't know if you guys can see from the commentary booth or the spectator and everything. I was trying to side draft the outside car,
uh,
who I think was Clutch eventually, because side draft wasn't like incredibly OP, but there, you could still see the effect. It sucked them back after I did it. So I was trying to hold the inside line and ruin their outside run so I could hold the inside line and have, the advantage going into the corners and stuff like that. So, yeah. But
Tyler, yeah,
I
he's
think
hanging
that's
on the
the
outside.
amount.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, Tyler was up there. That's somebody who reached out to me actually trying to hire me, but also Purge is battling that. So, like I
ooh.
said, I still have some decisions to make.
What
I'm not
was the team
sure
name?
yet. Huh?
Skivity Rizzlers Racing.
Skibidi Rizzlers Racing, but like I said, no really good plan. Going to the finish, going back to that remark you said, I had really no idea. I was slightly random up the track, but then I went back to the inside because I just had a feeling I had it and I didn't want necessary, contact or anything. So, like I said, my first race back in Vantage was really good. And obviously in winning fashion, and I guess you can maybe say dominating fashion, I actually able to I think I was the driver with the most laps led, if I'm not mistaken. I might have been. So I think that was really good.
Yeah, you were up there from the beginning. And Chief, you had mentioned that you hit the apron early on. You had a good that first stint. You were like top 2, top 1 that whole entire first stint, and then like you said, you hit the apron, and you were basically fighting uphill the entire rest of the race.
So bad. It really was. All the cars in the back, they didn't have power for some reason. It was either they messed up the gearbox. I really don't know what happened. Couldn't tell you, but I was fighting for my life back there. It was it was terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard sorry, but I heard a lot that in the back nobody was really trying to work together. It seemed like everybody was just trying to get past each other and get to the front, but that wasn't really doing anything. Cough cough teeth Smitty. But anyways,
We got beef
so
in the first week of it.
no, it's just when me and Clutch, it was actually a three-card pack when me and Clutch were running away. We were building that gap. I think when we pitted for our last like green flag pit stop, it was a 4-second gap. And then from there, I mean, we just worked together, but again, accident happened. I still think one of those last cautions was a bit
a bit
like
sus.
not, yeah,
What?
but oh well. Anyways, but yeah, it was three-car pack actually. It was me, Clutch, and Smitty. Smitty kept trying to fucking side
Maybe we
draft.
should try to kill everyone.
Well, no, he wasn't even trying to kill. He was just trying to he was trying to kill our momentum. He wasn't. He was following us in line, but then when he got a run, he tried to go to the outside of Clutch and side draft him to get past him, and then side draft me to get to the lead. Like you're not taking the lead, bro.
Not
So
that
I
guy,
don't.
pal. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
knew
what
it.
his game plan was. I mean, I get if he wants to win the race, I can, but you can't win the race when there's still like 30 laps to go, and we still have to make a green flag pit stop. And if we screw our train up, then the train behind us is gonna catch us. But obviously, we know that didn't happen. But anyways, yeah, overall good race. Good racing all around. Was it the first Forza Motorsport event for Vantage, or am
It
I
was
mistaken on
it
that?
was this year. Last year we did Formula Classics, which didn't make it through the full
Ah,
season,
okay.
but we held the Vindy 500
Well,
on there.
first Forza Motorsport event of the year
Yeah,
for
first one of the
Vantage,
year.
and it was definitely a very good showing. I definitely can't wait until Watkins Glen. I'm actually kind of excited for it, so I'm hoping things will hold up there. So
Yeah, should be a good one. Nevertheless, congratulations on the victory in 2025, the first VRT server victory of the year, and your first in a very long time.
yeah.
All right, that was AmiClean. Everybody watching at home. He won Friday Night Fenders at Daytona.
Wow, I hate you. Sorry.
So moving
Type
on.
in.
Let's see if we can.
Oh,
Alright.
Black Grim Reaper.
I don't know if he's muted for you, but I muted him. Anyways, so moving on, we had one more race this weekend, and it was the Retro GP, which wasn't live stream on the Vantage Twitch or anything, but it was live stream on Aesop Purge's Twitch account. So if you follow him on Twitch, you got to see it. If you don't, you might want to do that. But yeah, it was
Baby.
pretty interesting race. I didn't get to catch the entire thing. I think I was out, but of course, we did have that super exciting photo finish at the end. And it was
my bad.
yeah,
I'm supposed to talk.
a little bit.
My bad. Yeah. I watched a little bit of it. Not. Yeah, it was a really close finish. Closest finish actually in Vantage. It was really cool to see. With a newcomer winning his first race as well. I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to try it. But shout out to you.
Yeah, I think it's Deutsch Machine or something like that, but it's a German.
That was my
And I
nickname
don't
in high school.
yeah. We'll just call him Deutsch. Deutsch. But yeah.
Dude.
First time driver, first time race winner. Hopefully the season goes on strong. It's a pretty interesting concept, the classic F1 cars. I do like the idea of those cars. And they look pretty fun to drive. I'm not terribly versed with Forza. I don't race it a whole lot. It's been a little while since I've touched the game competitively. I think the Vindy 500 last year was the last time I league raced. That's not true. I raced in a different server, NASCAR, with you a couple months ago.
We won't speak of them.
But nevertheless, yeah, it was a pretty good race. Country Pepper, of course, casually hasn't touched the game in a year, and of course is fast out of nowhere. Yeah, great talk. But yeah, he lost unfortunately by 2 1,000ths of a second to Deutsch, who won his first ever race, his first ever start in Vantage as well. So that could be something to look forward to for Rookie of the Year or Best Race Debut of the Year. I guess we'll see. And as we come towards the end of this, let's go ahead and take a preview. Chief, are you still there? Yes, maybe.
What happened?
I said, let's go ahead and take a preview at the next weeks of races. So this is coming out on Wednesday. So later on today, depending on when you're listening, maybe not, will be the Truck Series at Zolder, which is the last race of the regular season. What do we think about that one? Do we think Elliot's going to run away with that one?
Probably. They're not known for turning right. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and Zolder's
But
a tricky track in terms of, I don't know, apparently the truck is hard to handle around there. I haven't tried it myself on that service. But, I know it's an interesting combo on Assetto Corsa with GT3 cars. So, I mean, it could be fun. Hopefully it's a fun, interesting, entertaining race. Yeah. Elliot said he's going to try and go for the largest margin of victory, which was you at the Summer Classic last year, which was like over 7.5, 8 minutes or something like that, right?
You know, if he does it, tell you what, I'll give him ownership advantage.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. He's going to go full
No.
Elliot's going to go full try hard mode. He's going to lap the field like 5 times. His first order of business is going to be to kick you to the moon.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, and then next up is the Pro Series, race number 3 at Nashville Super Speedway. Jacob's home race, as he proclaims. Do we think anyone's going to put a stop to the Michelle Hightower Purcell show?
Well, there's some fast guys, honestly, that have came in. Phi, I don't know how you pronounce this. I'm pretty sure it's like Pi, right?
Yeah, it's like
Phi.
Pi.
He was fast at Auto Club. Bednars was also really good. So I think it's honestly anybody's game this season. We haven't seen that much of Daniel Michael in the Pro Series this season. So it's too early to tell. But I really think there can be some new talent emerging.
Yeah, I haven't
Maybe
seen much of Michelle
Jacob
besides the part where he won Auto Club. Hoskins claims, I mean, it's his home track. Do we believe in the myth that home track gives you an advantage, home field advantage, gives you a couple tenths? Drivers always say it helps, but I don't know. I don't really know.
No.
No?
It all depends on how much practice you put in.
That's true. I guess if you're familiar with a track more so than others, you would be faster at it. But I don't think necessarily driving at quote unquote at home would make much of a difference.
You try a little bit harder. Not to say that you don't care about other races, but
you would subconsciously try harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be
like Daniel Michael's home race is Auto Club,
and he won.
He won. Guess every race is his home race because he just wins everything.
That's true.
But yeah.
Yeah, that boy does go a little bit crazy sometimes.
Brazy even.
And then let's see, what else is next? Friday Night Fenders, of course, on Friday night at the Watkins Glen, the full circuit. I think they Loud Balloon announced earlier today on Tuesday that we're doing the full circuit.
That's gonna be interesting. You know, a lot of people didn't want to do it, but it's only like 3 more turns, so
it is objectively
I'm looking
3 more turns. Yeah,
I can't wait to drive it. It was fun when we tested it out originally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with it on Assetto Corsa again, GT3 cars. I think the Gen 7s kind of handle semi-similar in terms of weight and stuff like that. So it should be a nice, fun, flowing race. And it's really not that much different from the original layout. It's just, like you said, 3 more turns. So it should be fun. Purge will be solo on commentary for that one on Friday night.
Oh, great. Not watching.
Well, you'll be racing. So, and then Sunday, the Retro GP Round 2 heads to Mugello, which again should be fun with those cars. It's very flowy, very similar to Kyalami, like they were for Round 1. So that should be pretty fun. And then let's go ahead and look at the power rankings. Actually, we'll look at the top 10. So
I think I'm like 11.
you did just miss out, yeah, and that's due to Clutch finishing second at Daytona and you finishing third. So it's like right there. But we'll start at the top. No surprise, Daniel Michel starting out the season strong. And we'll post these on Instagram too, probably on the story. Yeah, Daniel Michel starting the season out strong. He's already got 2 wins on the season, or on the season, on the calendar year. Followed by William Hightower in second, the Daytona winner. Kyle Purcell, those 3, of course, staples of the Pro Series and the Truck Series. They're always in the top 5 somewhere. Kurt Bray in 4th with his controversial win, you could call it, at Talladega. Followed by 5th is AmiClean, aka Ethan, who was with us a little while ago, that lengthy interview. That boy can yap.
He's still here? Oh, I can't hear him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can.
I muted him. so he can't interrupt us. But yeah. And then Dush in 6th place. Those guys are basically tied. Landon Bednarz, who's had 2 starts and a top 3 finish so far. He's been pretty consistent. Kind of an underrated driver is Landon Bednarz. He's been like sneakily pretty good so far this year. And then Country Pepper finished second by 2 1,000ths of a second at Kyalami. T. Smitty, who had a pretty good race at Daytona, all things considered.
Yeah, because he wrecked everybody, that's why.
Oh, calling out T. Smitty, the rookie? Calling out the rookie?
Yeah.
The owner is calling out the rookie? That's crazy.
Terrible. No, he's not terrible. He just needs to learn how to hold the line.
And then...
I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
Oh, boy. And then Clutch FLMan, who finished second at Daytona, is running at the top 10 in the power rankings. If you don't see your name here, we do keep track of everybody. We just show the top 10 here. But yeah, we've had 37 drivers race so far in just 6 races in Vantage in 2025. So not bad.
Hell yeah. We move.
We move. Vantage on top like always. Did you want to add anything to the end here?
I was going to make it like sarcastic comment, but I don't know.
Let's hear it.
Landon Bednarz on Aftershock looks like a Bugatti in a trailer park, you know?
Oh, that's a shot at everyone besides Landon Bednarz. Shout out, Landon. We love you, Aftershock, by the way. Don't go nowhere, please. You guys are really entertaining.
Do we?
We do. We're contractually obligated to say that. No, I kid.
I'm just kidding, man. Shout out Aftershock.
All right. Well, that's just about it. Well, jeez. We'll wrap it up here. Hopefully you guys like it. Let us know if we could, I don't know, make it longer, make it shorter. If you have any suggestions, put them down in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for the Vantage YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I would say TikTok, but they're taking away TikTok, so maybe not TikTok. Maybe we'll make a Red Note. Maybe we'll make a Red Note account. Have you heard about that?
Hey, follow us on Blue Sky.
Follow us.
I have not actually.
It's like it's literally just like Chinese TikTok.
Isn't Party Chinese?
Yeah, supposedly.
Shout out.
But yeah, go ahead and follow us on everything. And yeah, we'll see you guys when we see you. Be sure to look out for the races this weekend. And well, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday we're racing. Our goal eventually is to race all the time, and we'll get there. We're in the no breaks era. We're making Vantage great again, like you guys always wanted. So there you have it. Yeah, follow us everywhere. Follow us on the racetrack. Buy our merch. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Guys, please buy it.